This is 254 Rugby podcast that is kicking off now. Without much further ado, anyway, hey, good people, how you doing? This is 254 Rugby. We'll be talking about matters rugby, both Kenyan, African, and international. And we start with the continental features where we've had the Rugby Africa Sevens take place over 2 weekends in Mauritius, Uganda, emerging the overall winners, winning both legs, and with that, securing a ticket to the World Rugby Challenger Series for 2025. Remember, the World Rugby Challenger Series serves as the qualification pathway for the World Rugby Sevens Series, which is the top tier of rugby sevens internationally. Noble idea by Rugby Africa to actually spread it out over 2 weekends. It is good. I would like to see this competition spread its wings across the African continent. Let's have a leg in Kenya, Uganda, and West Africa. I know that is all subject to the availability of funds and resources, but I'm sure that Herbert Mensah and the good people at Rugby Africa can work out something as we go along. I mean, we need to see the game growing. We need to see the teams competing for a longer period of time away from competing over 1 weekend, or in this case, 2 weekends. So that's it. Like I said, kudos to Rugby Africa for pulling that one off. And yeah, let's see how that goes. Still on continental rugby, and the attention now shifts to the Rugby Africa Cup taking place in Kampala from the 18th to the 29th of July. It is the competition to determine the African champion. It has also served as the qualification pathway to the Rugby World Cup. There will be 8 teams competing. We have obviously the defending champions Namibia, we have Kenya, hosts Uganda, Zimbabwe, Senegal, Algeria, to name but a few. They will be competing for the title of African champion in 2024. It is good to see the tournament return to African soil after not being played in 2023 and being played in France in 2022 when it served as the African qualification tournament for the Rugby World Cup. The move by Rugby Africa back then, I must say, was not taken lightly by African rugby stakeholders. And again, like I said, it's good to see Herbert Mensah in tune, in touch with the feelings of the African people. It would be great to again see this competition not being played over a 10-day period, but again being spread out. It will be great to see the teams playing more, traveling more. But like we said, the biggest problem with African rugby at the moment is resources. But we need to start somewhere. We need to have a lot more intercontinental competitions, a lot more regional fixtures, a lot more people playing the game, because the growth of the game will be driven by these things. And still speaking about the Rugby Africa Men's Cup, Kenya have declared their 28-man squad for the competition, which kicks off in Uganda, like I said, on the from the 18th to the 29th of July. I'm just looking for the squad quickly. Here it is. Pulled it up. There are debut call-ups for Abu Talib Wesonga from the Menengai Oilers, Richard Wangela, who plays his rugby for Homeboys. Who else? Obat Kuke. He has been impressive for Kenyatta University Black Blood in the Kenya Cup in 2023-2024. But it's a largely settled squad. The experienced Hilary Manjilwa is there. Thomas Okeo returning to the squad after being out of action for a while, the same as Malcolm Onsando. Squad is captained by George Nyambua, and they will be vying for the African title in Uganda. Late last week, the Kenya Rugby Union also announced the Shujaa squad that will be playing at the Olympic Games. Remember, they qualified after stunning South Africa in the Rugby Africa Sevens Cup in 2023. That game ending 17-12, shocking the South Africans. The squad to Paris is led by Vincent Onyala and Tony Omondi, who are the co-captains. We also have John Okoth, Kevin Wekesa, Jojo Rosama Lasati, Nigel Amaitsa, Brian Tanga, Patrick Odongo, Lameka Mbetsa, Crescent Ojwang, and Herman Humwa. And they will be looking to perform better than they have in previous editions. Remember, in 2016, Shujaa headed to the Olympics, finished 11th overall. In 2020, again in Tokyo, they finished 10th overall. They'll be looking to improve on that showing as they look to set up for the future. It has been a baptism of fire for the Kenya under-20s. They have been playing at the World Rugby Junior Trophy in Edinburgh, Scotland. They started with a 25-7 loss to Uruguay before going down 51-3 to the Netherlands in a match that was played on Sunday. Well, again, baptism of fire, like we said, and I do think that it is important to have this team consistently play at the World Under-20 trophy level, and for there to be also pathways that see these players transition from age grade representative rugby into senior representative rugby, both at the 7s and 15s levels. I think so, yeah. So that's it. It has been an interesting year, like we said. Kenya returning to the fore in the Sevens World Series. Cabra Sugar retaining the Kenya Cup unbeaten, and there will be plenty to look forward to. We do have the National Sevens circuit coming up, and the Kenya Cup League also coming up. We will obviously be looking to cover those every week as we bring you this podcast. And also moving forward, we'll be touching on international rugby and getting features with people who've made the news on the rugby scene, both in Kenya and internationally. So this has been a first edition of 254 Rugby, the Rugby Zone. My name is Michael Kwambo. We look forward to growing with you as we go. First edition is out. Gonna cut it up, edit it, and put it up. Stay safe, and until next time, see you later.